Welcome to JIS Studio 58A Live here at the Jamaica Information Service. We're talking today about opportunities for the nation's young people. And to help discuss that is Director of Communications for the National Youth Service, Ms. Julia Smiley Green. And we're going to be talking particularly about the Heart Hope Youth Summer Employment Program as well as the Empowerment Program. Each of these programs serve specific purposes, and we'll get into more detail about that as the program goes on. But first, it's just up to me to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate having you here.
Thank you so much for having me, Vaughn. It's really a pleasure to be sharing with you and your viewers and listeners.
All right. And remember, guys, the aim of the game is to get you to interact with our guest as much as possible. She's right here. We'd like you to ask her all the possible questions you could have about enrolling in either of these programs so you can actually benefit, because that's the real ultimate goal here. All right, so we're going to kick things off with the Empowerment Program. I'm particularly interested in this one because it focuses on persons with intellectual disabilities. I want you to just give me an overview of what the Empowerment Program entails.
All right, so the Empowerment Program is a program, as you said, that caters to persons with mild intellectual disabilities. Mm-hmm. That's how the program has initially been operating. However, what has happened this year for the program is that program has now been expanded. Mm-hmm. So even though you would have introduced me as the Director of Communications and Marketing at the NYS, mm-hmm. I must reiterate the fact that we are now merged with the Heart Trust NTA, the Jamaican Foundation for Lifelong Learning, mm-hmm. and the Apprenticeship Board. So everything that we do now happens within the context of the merged entity of the mm-hmm. Heart Trust NTA.
I was definitely going to, as we go along, I'm definitely going to ask you to expound on what that now means and how that merger is now going to impact our youth. So we're going to definitely get into that. Okay. Later on.
But one of the direct results of that, as it relates to the Empowerment Program, though, mm-hmm. is that the program has now been expanded. Mm-hmm. So in years gone by, we would have focused only on persons with mild intellectual disabilities. Mm-hmm. But this year, we're doing a pilot where we have expanded to include persons with all forms of disability. So it's no longer catering to persons just with mild intellectual disabilities. Whatever disabilities persons are living with, Jamaican nationals, by the way, okay. between the ages of 17 and 34, then they can now apply for the Empowerment Program.
But to me, the obvious question that comes after that is, what guarantee can you provide that for example, my particular brand of disability, for example, might be catered for? Do you have the persons in place to help ensure that persons are able to cater to somebody who, for example, is blind, who, for example, is, has developmental challenges and other kinds of things?
We are definitely mindful of mm-hmm. the different forms of disabilities that might be affecting the persons that we're trying to attract mm-hmm. for the program. And it's with that in mind why we have put systems in place to facilitate exactly that. And one of the most profound things I would say about the program is that this program comes with what we call a job coach, okay. who is assigned to participants. Once they are accepted into the program, there is someone specifically assigned to each participant who is trained in social work, in psychology, who has experience dealing with persons with disabilities, and they are there to provide that support for the participants from the moment they are accepted okay. right through the entire life of the program.
So what's the age range of participants? What ages of persons can apply?
Well, generally for our programs at NYS, we usually target persons 17 to 29. Okay. For the Empowerment Program, though, we make an exception. Mm-hmm. So we extend that up to 34. So the program targets Jamaican nationals living with disabilities who are between the ages of 17 and 34.
All right, so how exactly does one enroll? Where does one go? What does one do?
They can go to any one of our offices right across the island. And by that I mean any Heart office, any JFLL office, or any NYS office. Whichever one might be closest to them, they're able to go there, get the information, and they're also able to apply. They could also go to the Heart website, for those of them who are able to. Visit the Heart website. It's heart-nta.org, mm-hmm. and they can get the application form downloaded there. For persons who are attached to institutions that specifically serve persons with disabilities, we've partnered with those institutions as well. So they're able to get information there and be guided as to how it is. They can get their application form, complete it, and provide the supporting documents that we ask for to ensure that they are properly applying for the program.
So, having decided to expand the range of the program this year, I just want you to go back a little bit for me and talk to me about the impact. Talk to me about the feedback persons have been giving you about this program and how it has been helpful to them.
We have really been getting very good feedback about the program. What we find is that sometimes in the initial stages, particularly our placement partners, because the program has a placement component that I'm sure we can speak to as well, they may be a little hesitant in the beginning. But once they become a little more informed about what we do, the fact that we train these participants, the fact that we have someone who is there to guide them throughout the program, what I find is that persons are very accepting of our participants. And the good thing about it is that they get the opportunity to showcase their talents and their skills. They get the opportunity to show that they have meaningful contributions that they can make in a very productive way to contribute to the country's growth and development. So one of the interesting things I found from the program last year, because I had the opportunity to work closely with some of the participants from the program, having kind of tracked them from the camp stage to placement to after placement, and had some dialogue with them to do some video diaries. And there were participants who, when I did my first interview at the beginning of the program, they would struggle to have a basic conversation. So just to engage them in a conversation to say, how are you? What's your name? How was your day?
Because of nervousness?
They're nervous, and also because of the intellectual challenge that they have. But what I found was that by the time we got to the end of the program, these same participants were now so engaging and having such conversations that I found it hard at some instances to keep up with them. And even the employers, they were also able to give a lot of positive feedback, to the point where some of them would have kept on these persons for either part-time or full-time employment after the program ended.
So, well, talk to me about numbers. How many persons are you looking to? Is there a target number that you're aiming for with the empowerment program?
Yes, we have a target for the program this year of 360 participants, and this is right across the island. So each parish would have a specific breakdown in terms of the number that parish will be targeting, but the overall number we want to target right across the island is 360.
I know many persons are probably wondering right now if you plan on expanding that, because obviously, persons with disabilities want to, include themselves as much as possible. So, is there plans on expanding that going
we are generally very open to expanding as long as the resources will allow us to, and the merged entity will provide the opportunity for expansion. It is because of the merged entity, for instance, why we're at 360, because last year our target and the number of persons that we were able to place in the program was 160. So you realize that we have more than doubled for this year. And I'm sure, based on the feedback and as the resources become available, and also as we get more partners to come on board to take these persons in the workplace, we'll definitely be very open to expanding the numbers.
So just to be clear, is it that these persons are placed primarily in public sector buildings, or are they also placed in, private business and that kind of thing?
We don't discriminate as it relates to where we place our participants. So we approach both public and private sector partners. Anybody who has a company, who is a legitimate business owner and operator, who is willing to give these persons an opportunity, we are willing to have the dialogue with them to see how they can come on board to get us to achieve that mandate that we're working towards.
So through HEART, I guess some persons might be wondering, is it, that you'll take them in as a token kind of thing and they do some filing for a couple of weeks and then, they end up leaving and don't necessarily feel like they've really gotten the chance to really show the full range of their abilities talk to me about ensuring that, you mentioned that they get a job coach, but talk to me about ensuring that they come and they actually feel full participation in this program.
Well, that is what we emphasize. We don't want persons to think that because these persons are persons with disabilities, then we're going to just resign them to doing very menial tasks that we would not necessarily give to any other employee. That's not what the program is about. So what we do at the beginning of the program, there is a 3-week non-residential camp. So that's where we provide training for the participants. We assist them with getting to know how to behave in the workplace, for example, their deportment, their behavior, things like even following them on the routes to see how they operate if they have to take a bus and how they are able to manage themselves. It is that intensive. When they get into the workplace now, what we encourage our partners to do is to have an orientation that is specific to the nature of the job that they will be performing during the placement phase. And we ask that even though our participants may require a little more closer supervision than the average worker, we ask our employers to try as best as possible to assign them to tasks that they would give anybody else so long as they're capable of doing it. And what we find is that they have been doing that for the most part. And we also get very positive feedback from customers of these companies who may come in and they might see this person and they're a little hesitant because the person has a disability. But then when they engage them and realize how they're able to manage themselves and how they're able to effectively perform on the job, then we realize that persons are more accepting and they will even come back another time and ask for that person to interact with them.
All right, well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're hearing about the empowerment program right here, JIS Studio 58A Live, talking with Miss Julia Smiley Green. And as you can see, that the empowerment program is really trying to make an impact for persons with disabilities, members of that community, to ensure that they get opportunities to really make an impact and contribute to national development. And I would just, implore all employers out there who can to take the opportunity to bring some persons with disability, persons from that community on board so that they too can play a role. Like, who's to tell? Maybe your business might increase because they see you making that kind of engagement with members of that community. You never tell. Well, let's move on now, Miss Green, over to the Heart Hope Youth Summer Employment Program. Persons may have known it as a different name previously,
yes,
but following the merger, it has now taken on a whole new focus, right?
Yes.
So can you just give me an overview of what the Summer Employment Program is about?
All right. The Summer Employment Program is one of those programs that I know a lot of Jamaicans might have been very familiar with over the years of having the NYS execute this program. But now that we have merged with the Heart Trust NTA and the Jamaican Foundation for Lifelong Learning, and also coming out of that policy directive from the Office of the Prime Minister regarding the HOPE, Housing, Opportunity, Productivity and Employment Program, coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister, we have now realigned the program so it is now specifically linked to the employment component of the HOPE. Out of the Office of the Prime Minister. And we have rebranded the program, and that is why we're now calling it the Hope Youth Summer Work Program.
Okay, yes.
And this is a program that is being offered under the merged entity of the Heart Trust NTA. What the program does is it provides work experience, and this one targets youth between the ages of 17 to 29. And again, we're targeting Jamaican nationals. It provides 3 weeks of work experience for each participant during the summer period. Before last year, we would have done placements only in the months of July and August. Since last year, we expanded to placing in June as well, and that's how we are continuing this year. So there'll be a 3-month placement phase, 3 weeks in June, another 3 weeks in July, and another 3 weeks in August. And again, what we do is partner with different public and private sector companies to provide this experience for the young people. We don't want our young persons to be totally disengaged for the summer period.
Right.
And we also want to engender in them that spirit of volunteering and giving back. So yes, there is a stipend that our participants will receive at the end of that 3-week placement, but it is a stipend.
A stipend.
So we emphasize that what we want them to focus on is more that experience that you get, the orientation that we'll also put you through before you're placed, to ensure that you have the relevant employability skills and soft skills that will make you more attractive to a potential employer.
So you can use this experience and hopefully boost your resume, and then hopefully get yourself a job once if that's the route that you choose to take after leaving high school or college or whichever one. But what are the requirements to join the Heart Hope Youth Summer Work Program?
All right, so for the Hope Youth Summer Work Program, potential participants first must obtain an application form. You can do that by visiting any one of our offices or going to the website heart-nta.org, downloading that form and completing it. We also ask for a number of supporting documents. So you will need to submit along with it a copy of your TRN, a copy of your birth certificate, a copy of your NIS number. Your banking information is going to be very critical because that is how you will receive your stipend.
Okay.
So we ask individuals to ensure that they have a commercial bank account.
Okay.
And we will need to get that banking information as part of the supporting documents for the application form.
All right, and what's the deadline, or is there what's the time period within which persons have to apply for the program?
The application period is open now. It has been open since the 12th of February, and we're going to go until the end of April. So originally, we would have been promoting that we're going until the 13th of April, but we realized that a lot of our young people, they delay.
That's true.
When they're supposed to apply for these programs, they delay and they wait until the last week or two, and then everybody's rushing to try and get their applications in. We're mindful of that, and we're granting an extension until the end of April for persons to submit.
All right. And how many persons are you targeting this year for this program?
This year, we are targeting 14,000 young people for placement.
Across all our parishes?
14,000 across all parishes.
Okay.
And you don't necessarily have to have qualifications to apply for the program. If you do, we ask that you submit your qualifications, because
that would better
also
allow you to place them in right places. Right?
Exactly. But if you have no qualifications at all, you still have the opportunity to apply for this program.
All right. And has the over the years, I want to talk about the feedback for the program. As you said, this program has been going on for many years. It has impacted many Jamaicans, many persons, like even me. I've been a part of the NYS before. So talk to me about how that program has blossomed and how you see it meeting its mandate of bringing about that spirit of volunteerism and getting people to be workplace ready.
It is really one of those flagship programs, I would say, of the entity. It's one of those programs that even before the application period opens, persons are asking, when is it going to be open? When can I get an application form for the summer program? And I'm sure, as you are able to testify, you are an example of the sort of persons that are generated from the program. And that is the whole idea, that we want to encourage young persons to get involved with it. I know that a lot of persons might think, oh, the stipend is not enough,
right?
Or I'm going to have to work all of 3 weeks and then wait to get my stipend. But I want persons to look at the bigger picture, the greater value of putting down on your resume that you were a participant of the summer work program. It really goes a long way when a potential employer sees that on your resume. And what we find as well is that even after persons have left the program, they would be in our database, and there are employers who will approach us for persons that they want to get involved in their businesses. Just recently, there was a business person who approached us who was opening about 5 stores across the island, and he turned to us to get participants, and we were able to send young persons who did their interviews, and they would have gotten placed in a very good job opportunity.
Okay.
So we want persons to think about what it will do for you as a future potential employee. This is your opportunity to get a foot in the workplace and to make an impression that will allow an employer to keep you.
If memory serves me correct, I understand that you guys also plan some really intensive orientation sessions to kind of help the participants get a sense of what the workplace will be like before they enter, particularly for those who it's their first time.
Yes.
So talk to me about how intensive that process is and helping them to appreciate what the workplace is like.
It is an opportunity to prepare them to be more employable.
Mm-hmm.
So you have young persons who will apply for the Hope Youth Summer Work Program, for example, who have never before done a job interview.
Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the great opportunities that you get to do an actual interview. That is a real stimulation of what it would be like in the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to get immediate feedback as to the areas that you perhaps need to improve on for future interviews. After you have completed that and been accepted to the program, we put you through an orientation. We teach you, we focus on areas such as deportment. Young persons nowadays sometimes struggle with things like waking up early and arriving at work on time. So we stress those things. We teach you how to prepare the right resume for the employer.
That's very important. That's one of the most critical areas young people can learn today.
We teach you about how to dress in the workplace.
Even more critical nowadays. Right?
All those areas that an employer would be looking for. And what we do as well is to partner with employers. So we're inviting these persons to come be a part of the orientation exercise. So it's not a case where you come to the agency and we're telling you that this is how it should be done in the workplace. We're actually showing you, and we're bringing persons from the different industries to assist us with getting that process. I find it to be very valuable, and based on the responses and feedback we get from participants after they've gone through it, I can tell you that they really appreciate it, because for many of them, they would not have otherwise been exposed to the nature of the activities that we put them through, to ensure that when we approach an employer to say, take one of our participants, we are guaranteeing you that you're getting a participant who is ready for the world of work.
Question online, a person is asking how much is the stipend. I don't think we disclosed that earlier.
The stipend varies based on your level of qualification. So that is one of the reasons why we ask for your qualifications if you have any. But it varies from around $8,000 to somewhere a little over $10,000 per week.
Per week. Okay, well, there you have it, members of the audience. Those online, you can hear just about how much you will gain by participating in the Hope Youth Summer Work Program. It's clearly a bridge to help you matriculate from school into the world of work in a seamless way. And as Ms. Smiley Green mentioned, you might just be able to secure yourself a job opportunity. We hope you will have any more questions. Please send them in. She's right here. Take advantage of the opportunity to ask her all these questions so that when the time comes, you'll be fully prepared to take advantage of both programs. I don't think we mentioned what the deadline is for the empowerment program.
The deadline for the empowerment program is going to be the 6th of April.
6th of April.
So we have roughly another 2 weeks.
For
that one.
Have you been seeing any strong take-up of the program
today? We have. Just this morning before I left the office to come here, one of the job coaches was saying to me that the applications have now started to come in rapidly. Okay. I was saying, this is the same thing we're talking about. Persons know that the deadline is approaching, and this is when they're applying. So we have been seeing the numbers steadily growing. There are some areas that we're still needing persons to send their application. I know there was a concern this morning about Hanover, St. Elizabeth, St. Anne. So if you're in those parishes, you're living with a disability, you have not yet applied for the empowerment program, or you know someone who needs to apply, now is the time to tell them to get to a Heart, NYS or JFLL office, get that application form, find the supporting documents, and submit it so that you can get your opportunity to be a part of the program.
And remember, they're only looking for how many participants?
360
So
right across the island.
You can just imagine those spots are going to fill up very fast. So if I were you, I'd get on it as soon as possible. And you have more time for the summer work program, but that doesn't mean you should rest on your laurels either. Before you know it, it's summer, and then the opportunity will have passed you by. So I recommend that you get on it as soon as possible. So can you just talk to me now about how the mandate of the NYS, or how things are fitting under this new dispensation with the merger? Or is there any special focus that's going to be placed on our youth as far as this is going?
Well, one of the things I can share with your viewers and listeners, Vaughn, is that the merged entity of the Heart Trust NTA is spearheaded by a board that strongly believes in the mantra that no youth should be left behind.
Okay.
What that means is that we're looking at all the ways that we can engage all our youth right across the island in meaningful ways. Whether it is through programs for work experience, whether it's through our training programs, whether it's through getting persons to get qualifications that they may not have, we are looking for all those opportunities. And we are also taking the approach of trying to get our services to meet persons where they are. Just earlier this month, we were in Burnt Savannah in St. Elizabeth, where we had a community outreach where we literally took the services to the people. So they were able to sign up for programs. They were able to try skills on the spot to find out, what area am I good in, what area do I have an interest in, and then get the information on how they could register. Just last Friday as well, we had an employment fair in Black River in St. Elizabeth again, where we had employers who needed persons who would have indicated that, okay, I need 20 persons in this area or 5 persons in this area. And we invited the young people to come on spot to do their interviews and get their job placement. So we are mindful of the challenges that our young persons are facing. We're mindful of the fact as well that sometimes they have a need, but they may not necessarily have the resources to access the services that we're offering. So we're saying to our young persons, have the dialogue with us. Right. We're open to the discussion.
Look at them and tell them.
Have the dialogue with us. Let us know what your needs are. Let us know how it is that we can assist you. What are the challenges that you're having? The services are available. We don't want the services to be available, but they're not being accessed. So our intention is to ensure that we're reaching all our youth, and we're asking our youth to let us know what the needs are. Follow us on social media. Talk to the persons who are in your community. Go to the Heart office, go to the NYS office, go to the JFLL office near you. Visit us online and just let us know how we can serve you. And you can also browse and see what the programs are that you may be interested in and how you can apply and ensure that you are benefiting from those very critical services that will make you more rounded, will make you more productive, will make you more independent, and will put you in a position to impact your families, your community, and our country in a very big and meaningful way.
Well, I don't think I need to add anything more. Viewers, there you have it. The government believes no youth should be left behind, and they're taking steps to make this a possibility, make this a reality. You have the empowerment program for persons with disabilities, as well as the summer employment program for youngsters so that they can get workplace readiness training and that kind of thing. Thank you so much, Ms. Smiley Green, for coming and sharing with us. I'm sure many persons would have benefited greatly from this. Pardon me? Some persons want you to repeat the deadlines for application online.
Okay, so the deadline to apply for the empowerment program, which is the one that targets persons living with disabilities, is April 6th, right? The deadline to apply for the Hope Youth Summer Work Program is going to be the last Friday in April. I think that's either the 29th or the 28th. Whatever date is that last Friday, that's when we'll be taking our applications for the final set of applications for the Hope Youth Summer Work Program.
All right, there you have it. As I said, viewers, Director of Communications and Marketing for the National Youth Service is under the newly rebranded entity that incorporates the Heart Trust NTA, Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning, and the National Youth Service. She has talked to you so much and showed you so many ways in which the government is working to make the lives of our youth better. We urge you to go out and take advantage of all of them and see which ways that you can really make an impact in the country's overall development. We thank you so much for tuning in. We're here every Thursday. You can send in your comments. You can talk to us live. Interact with us. We want to hear what you have to talk. We want to hear what you have to say about all the different topics that are of interest in this country. All that's left for me to do is to say thank you so much for joining us. I have been your host, Vaughn Davis. This has been JIS Studio 58A. Thank you and have a good day.